How you doing, guys? It's your boy Nando, and this is the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association of Warren Boxing Management and Seconds Out Coffee. Got a very special guest today. Sam Gilley is going to join us today. Got a lot to talk about, including his next fight on the MTK Global show. Let's see if we can get Sam on. How you doing, Sam?
Hey, good?
All good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thank you.
Just want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to us today. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Nice one, mate. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, mate. Just how's camp? How's training going?
Yeah, it's all right. Like it's nice not having to do the 147 anymore. So like it's just been so much easier, and it's been actually been enjoyable for the first time in a while. Do you know what I mean? So, and I've said a couple of days ago that I didn't realise how sapped it actually made me feel, like during camps and stuff. Like although I was still doing 10 rounds and stuff, like it would the knock-on effect of it the next day, but whereas now I'm seeing a massive difference. So it's nice.
Brilliant, and we can't wait to see that in your next fight. Obviously, we saw last week MTK Global announced a great show on the 29th of October at the historic York Hall. How do you feel fighting at York Hall and be such a place that has so much history?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be the 8th, 9th time I've boxed there now. So it's always a great venue. Do you know what I mean? Especially for the fans, everyone's on top of the ring and stuff. And the fact that we're going to have pretty much a packed house on the night is going to be something everyone's been looking forward to since obviously everything that happened. So yeah, it'd be nice to get back there and feel a bit of atmosphere for the first time in a while. So yeah, I'm buzzing. Can't wait to see everyone back in there.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been at York Hall a few times recently, and it's just great to have the crowd back. Nothing could beat it. Don't get me wrong. When you're watching it at home, it was sometimes nice hearing the lever. You can hear what the corners are saying. You can actually hear the shots when they land, but nothing beats a crowd as well.
Yeah, I suppose that's nice for fans. To be fair, it's different when you're in there, but yeah, I suppose you don't think of it from that side. Like obviously, when you're in there and stuff, it makes such a difference to us. But I suppose when you can hear, like, I mean, we hear it all the time in the gym. You're hearing the shots land and stuff like that. So, and you don't think the fans they don't get to see that side of it. So I suppose that was quite interesting for them. But no, I'm glad to be having. I mean, especially after the last fight, I walked out and it was about 3 people in the arena. So it'll be nice to walk out and just feel that adrenaline rush of having everyone in there again.
Before I bring up your last fight, how do you train for something like that mentally? You know, I'm guessing you can't really, because going into arena, walking out, and there's no one cheering basically, apart from your team, your corner. And you know, there were times that some boxers, when they came out, you can hear some people cheer. It wasn't a crowd, but it was probably their team. But how do you train mentally for something like that when you're so used to being in front of a crowd?
Oh, do you know what? Obviously, you spar in front of nobody every week. So beforehand, I was doing interviews saying I don't think it'll affect me that much. But I walked out and it was so cold in that copper box. It was freezing. And then we got in the ring and then they went, right, we just got to sort all the TV cameras out. So me and Danny were stood there for about 10 minutes. Like, just there, like, and it was just eerie. It was strange. Like I couldn't really hear Rod because he's got a mask, visor, and God knows what else over his face. Like, so it did take me by surprise. I really didn't think it bothered me that much because we spar all week, but obviously when it matters, and you're so used to when you're doing your walkout that it's like a process. Your mind goes through that process of like step by step, you're getting yourself mentally prepared to start. And to do that without a crowd did surprise me a little bit, and the fact that it was like you had no body heat in there, it was freezing, and then me and Danny had to stand there and wait for them to sort the TV cameras out and stuff. So yeah, it's weird.
Hopefully, it's no experience that you or any other boxer will experience ever again. Hopefully, the crowd will stay now, and that's it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Let's talk about your last fight, if you don't mind me talking about it. Obviously, fortunately, you suffered your first professional defeat to Danny Ball, unanimous decision. Yeah. In your opinion, because as humans, we are our own biggest critics, What, looking back at that fight, I don't know if you have watched it back. What do you think went wrong? And if the rematch ever happened in the future, what would you different? What would you do different?
What I do different in the rematch is have it up at 154 and not down at 147. But because literally, I was training better than I'd ever trained before. Like I was doing 10 rounds 3 times a week, like leading up to it, and I was fine. But for the first time, getting a little bit older, maybe the weight drop just killed me. I come back to Rod after the second, and I just said, mate, I am absolutely dead. And he went, you're joking. And I said, mate, I swear to God. And I don't know if people heard this from home, but he said, mate, how's your legs? I went, they're fine. He said, just use them then. And then we managed to nick our way through a few rounds. And then from round 7, he said, how are you now? And from 7 onwards, you can just pretty much empty. You've got like, it's the home straight, and you can empty the tank and just go for it. So from 7 onwards, I could just push. But yeah, from the end of round 2, midway through round 3, I was pretty much fucked. But I mean, isolating in a hotel for 4 days did not help.
Yeah.
Like the food that was getting delivered to my room was all wrong. And just sitting there cooped up, not like normally the meals I'm preparing for myself when I'm at home are so much better. Like I'm eating bigger portions, but it was just all like it was just loads of contributing factors to it. But yeah, so, and it affected my performance obviously. But I still think that I was 1 round up. Some people in my family think I was 1 round down. Some people thought I drew. So listen, it was a very tight fight, and I'm never going to take nothing away from Danny. He's a proper nice geezer, and like I'd one day down the line, who knows? But I think he's going to stay at 147 because he's only young as well. But it's time for me to explore stuff at 154.
So is that your next fight? You're fighting at 154?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your next fight. Daniel Larty.
Yeah.
Still your... Yep, so 14 wins, 12 KOs, 4 losses, 1 draw. By looking at that, he's a hard hitter. What other dangers do you know about this opponent?
That he can punch hard.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I've my whole career I've been in with people that can pop in sparring, in even in fights. I've boxed people that have got. I mean, Danny's got a good shot on him. I mean, but yeah, you just got to be clever. I mean, you got to respect every opponent that you get in there with. All of them can punch to a certain degree, but this one I'll have to be a little bit wary of for a little while. But I don't see myself boxing for any. Like I've never been buzzed in a fight, so I've got a good chin. I've shown that in sparring, but I've got an even better defense. So I don't expect him to be landing on me clean at all, really. So yeah.
It's going to be a good fight. It'll be good to see you back in the ring. Obviously, not looking past this opponent. What is the goal for you?
Yeah.
Do you think there's time to maybe squeeze in another fight at the end of the year, or is it too much to?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, the English title's vacant. I've had 2 10-round fights back to back. Nice little 6-rounder to get me back in. I mean, I would have took more this time, but obviously your team advise you on the best steps, so you got to listen to them. But the English is vacant. Whoever they threw at me for that, I'd take it. You know what I mean? At the end of the year, start next year, whatever. I just want to. After, I mean, I boxed once in 18 months, and before that, I'd had 12 fights in 3 years, or something along them lines, something like that. So I want to be as busy as possible. Like I was at Southern area level, like learning on the job sort of thing, and then obviously with COVID, everyone sort of got opportunities come up that wouldn't normally come up for people. So, and then I was in the mix of a WBC fight. So I just want to take as many fights as I can in as quick space of time as I can, and learn, get on the learning trail again. Do you know what I mean? I've always said I want to do it the traditional way, because I believe over that path you become a more complete fighter. So I want to get back to fighting regular and back learning as much as I can.
No, I'm not trying to get you to call anyone out, but on BoxRec they haven't updated it. You're still in the rankings of 147, 154. Who's some of the who's some of the names that are close to you that could be a potential opponent for you for that English title, for example? Do you know
what? No, I don't really. Obviously, I know. Obviously, everyone knows the top boys. They're all going for British and stuff like that. But I don't really know the situation of anyone else in the division where everything's been quite quiet. I've like nothing's really been happening, so I don't really know the situations of other boys. For all I know, someone else could be getting lined up for it right now for the end of the year. I don't know. So, but obviously, But like, I think the welterweight division is a more competitive division than the super welterweight division, and I managed to get myself to the 13th in the country in that. So I don't see why I shouldn't be like creeping into the top 10 to start of next year if I fight in December at the end of the year. So yeah.
Brilliant. We'll look forward to that. Obviously, over the weekend, we saw two brilliant fights at 154. First of all, let's talk about the fight that I was looking forward to, Troy Williamson versus Ted Cheeseman. What a fight, and did you expect that to happen?
Do you know what? From a fan's point of view, I mean, that was just... I mean, me and Rod were sat there watching, and obviously it wasn't nice because I spar Ted most weeks, and like, so I've got to know him in the gym. Like, I get to see him all the time, chat to him and that, and to see that it weren't nice. And I mean, you got Danny Ball on the other side, someone who I now chat to quite regular, like suffering a broken jaw, and then you got Ted suffering a knockout like that. It was just it weren't great to watch. But I mean, from a fan's point of view, the fight itself was unbelievable. I mean, I thought Troy Williamson boxed an amazing fight.
Yeah.
I was very surprised because at one point it looked like Ted was just starting to get to him, and then he had a second wind and finished the show. So it shows he's got an engine as well, and he can bang very, very hard to do that to Ted. So very good performance from him.
For sure. What's your thoughts on a potential next fight that they could make Troy Williamson defend that British title against Hamza Shiraz? How big would that fight be?
Do you know what? I forgot about Shiraz. Oh, that's gone. Is that still working? That's gone all buffering now.
Sorry, Sam, can you hear me?
Trouble connecting.
Sam, you there?
Turn that off like that. Oh yes, internet's fucked it up. I think so.
Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now, mate.
Sorry about that. I think it was on my side. Apologies.
Oh, was it? Oh, no worries.
I was saying, what's your thoughts on the potential next fight? It could be Troy Williamson versus Hamza Shiraz for that British title.
I'll say, do you know what? I forgot about Shiraz in that division, but he's mate, he's absolutely massive. I can't see him staying there for long.
Yeah.
But I think what is he? I think he's 20. Is he 24, 23?
Yeah, I think he's only 23 years old. 23.
That's I think that's way too early for him. I mean, Troy's a fully developed man. He's a very, very strong guy. Yeah, I think that would be way too early for Shiraz. But I mean, listen, I know boys that sparred him said he can punch very hard. So listen, like, all the best to him if he does take it. But I'd plan my route a little bit more carefully if I was him.
Do you think? Can you see him being in the middleweight division eventually?
No, 100%. I mean, what is he? 6'2", 6'3"?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, ain't he? I mean, his frame is just. And he's like, it happened to me. My frame when I was 23, 24, like I could do well easy. But then you start creeping into your late 20s, which are after 18 months of COVID. Suddenly I'm 27. And it takes its time. But it's one fight where you realise it. I mean, in the Southern Area fight, I felt fine. And then all of a sudden, you just feel a massive difference in just in your gas tank, and you just think, I've got to go up. But I mean, I think Anthony Fowler felt it the other night as well, because I see a post saying that he's sitting at about 80 kilo and he's still got a six pack. So he went, my 154 days are over. So I think Fowler found that out as well at the weekend. But yeah, I can definitely see Shiraz going up to middleweight. He's absolutely huge.
And the middleweight division domestically right now is unbelievable. So to add him and Fowler to that is just something else.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I'm a massive boxing fan. So to see all them names in and amongst there thrown in together, I mean, you could almost have like a Super Six just out of the boys from our country, couldn't you? Like, it's a proper stacked division. So yeah, I look forward to seeing them knock lumps out of each other.
What's next for Liam Smith? Obviously, you got that big win against Anthony Fowler. What would be next? Some people are calling for the Fitzgerald fight. Yeah,
that's a great fight. I mean, I'm not sure what Scott's been up to. I mean, I know he's been out of the ring and inactive. So if he did take that fight, I reckon he'd have to have another one beforehand. But I mean, both people that have beat Fowler, so that's another amazing fight. I mean, some of the boxing that we've potentially got over the next couple of years is unbelievable. So, and to throw himself in and amongst it'd be great. But to sit and watch it as well. But yeah, him versus Fitzgerald. But I'm not sure whether he'll be calling for someone like maybe Kell Brook. He'll be calling for, because I think he's right at the end now, Liam, and he'll want that one sign out fight, won't he, against a huge name. So
yeah, he wants Vacant. They've had a bit of an issue on Twitter recently, so it might go off.
Oh really? Vacant. Yeah. See what I mean? So he wants that sort of. He wants to either go over to America and try and crack it again, or just have that one last go.
Yeah.
Which I can see. Do you know what I mean? You want to try and make as much money as you can, but yeah, it's going to be. He's always in a good fight, and so it's always enjoyable to watch him.
100%. Just your take on one of the best heavyweight fights to happen over the weekend. Tyson Fury just dismantling Deontay Wilder, but he literally had everything this fight. 5 knockdowns, and it was just pure excitement. What did you think of this fight, and what's next for Tyson?
In arms. I mean, I stayed up till. I mean, in camp it's a little bit naughty, but I was up till 5 a.m, like just sitting there waiting, because I was hoping for exactly what happened, and Tyson using all of his attributes to break Wilder down, but he was going to have to walk through some shots to do it. I mean, from a fan's point of view, it's got to be one. It's the best heavyweight fight I think I've watched. I was at the Joshua fight the other week. And I mean, when you compare the two, I mean, Tyson Fury was just levels above any other heavyweight in the division for me. I mean, he's boxed 3 different styles to beat Wilder. He's so versatile. Each fight, he's had a different game plan and he switched it up. Wilder's just got that right hand that he's looking for. But the last fight, Fury went at him, and this fight, he used his size to just lay on him and just sap him, and use his defenses on the inside to make him miss or make him pay. So,
how excited are you for a potential Tyson Fury Dillian White fight? Just for the press conference and the face-off itself.
Yeah, I mean, that could win an Oscar, couldn't it, in itself? Yeah. But because they're both such great characters, and Dillian does deserve that shot. I mean, he's been waiting around for about 4 years. Like, he's been waiting around for a silly amount of time. He deserves the world title shot. And but Dillian White, what a man! Do you know what I mean? Everyone they've put in front of him, he fights. You don't really hear him moaning. He's managed to work his way up from being Anthony Joshua's opponent to being a box office star himself, to being in line for a world title, to then beating everyone. coming back from Vacant knockout to beat him again as well. So he's ticked every box. So he deserves that shot before anything else happens. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree. For me, I've always said that Dillian White, for me, deserved to be in the same era as like Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield and all them fighters, because he just fights anyone. You don't really see that anyone really in the heavyweight division these days doing that. He would just, every fight, he would take the hardest fight. He didn't need to take Otto Warland. Otto Warland's a slick fighter who could cause an upset, but he could have taken an easy fight, waited for his shot. But I respect him for that. He just takes the hardest fights always, and I can't wait for him to get his title shot.
Yeah, are we back on now?
Yeah, Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. I got up to Otto Warland could cause an upset. I think there was a delay on the last bit.
Sorry, what was the last thing you heard?
Otto Warland could cause an upset.
Yeah, Otto Warland could cause an upset, but at the same time, that's why I respect Dillian White. He takes these hard 50-50 fights.
Yeah, but that's like he don't sit around fighting nobodies until his chance comes up. He keeps himself busy in massive fights. I mean, he's earning huge money from it, so he's setting himself up in the long run as well. But yeah, I mean, he just don't give a shit, does he? He just wants to fight. That's all he wants to do: fight and earn dough. So, which is what at the end of the day, it's what all of us want to do. So, but yeah, for him, I hope he does get his shot because he does deserve it.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, before I let you go, do you have a message for the fans that are going to be traveling down to your call to see you fight and tuning in to watch you?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so nice to have you all back. Thank you to everyone that's bought tickets. I mean, I've now got a waiting list because I've done my tickets, so I'm waiting to hopefully I'll get some more, so more of you can come. And yeah, the response has been absolutely amazing, and I'll repay you all with a massive performance on fight night.
What can we expect on fight night, Sam?
Oh, come on, you know what it's like for me. I'm going hell for leather for a stoppage. I've got to. I mean, to have them all back there, I've not stopped no one for 2 fights now, so I'm due one. And I mean, it'd be calculated, but 100% I'm going all guns blazing.
Amazing. We look forward to that, Sam, and I want to wish you the best of luck for this fight and your new journey at 154. It's going to be amazing. Mate. A lot of domestic fights there, and your journey to go for the English title as well.
Wicked. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheers.